you for joining us. I'm Valerie Timko. I'm a marketing manager here at Snap One. We're really excited for you to join us today to learn about Clara Shades best practices. We have Jason and Alex from the Clara Shades team, and they're going to walk you through everything. I would like to remind you that we do have a chat feature open down here and also a Q&A feature. We will save all the Q&A until the end of the webinar, and we'll make sure to answer as many questions and hopefully all of them. But I will let Jason and Alex get started, and thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Valerie. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. It's a real pleasure to be here with you. Over the past 7 months, we've had the pleasure of visiting every Snap store and meeting with partners nationwide to introduce Clara Shades. Today, we will dive deeper into Clara's best practices. We truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. Our goal is to help you discover new opportunities and, more importantly, enhance revenue generation within your business. Thank you for your time, engagement, and dedication. Today, I'm excited to highlight our ongoing and exclusive partnership with Snap One. For over a year now, Clara Shades have been available exclusively through Snap One. This collaboration has enabled us to offer specialized services tailored to meet your unique needs. Our partnership reaffirms our commitment to excellence and guarantees that every product we deliver is of the highest quality. We deeply value your continued support as we work to further strengthen this successful collaboration. One way to maximize the benefits of the Snap One Partner Rewards program is by selling Clara Shades. That's right. For every dollar spent, you earn 3 reward points. This reward system is designed to benefit you directly, further enhancing the value of choosing Clara Shades for your projects and sales initiatives. Today's webinar is designed to take an in-depth look at our best practices. We'll discuss cable exit strategies, measuring techniques, and installation procedures. Additionally, we'll cover solutions for button pass and provide a step-by-step guide for panel wiring. At the conclusion of the webinar, we'll host a live Q&A session to address any questions you might have. So, Clara Shades leads the way in delivering cutting-edge window covering solutions for a wide range of applications. Our products significantly enhance the comfort and visual appeal of both indoor and outdoor spaces. So, whether it's for a single-family home, high-rise multi-dwelling units, commercial offices, or outdoor areas, our solutions empower you to offer top-tier services. Fully compatible with Control4 and other major home automation systems, Clara Shades ensures seamless integration and consistent performance, maximizing user convenience and satisfaction. Let's start by exploring the various cable exit strategies to ensure efficient and tidy setups for any installation. First up, for an open roll shade with an inside mount, the cable should exit from the top of the window frame. The ideal position for the cable is 2 inches from the sidewall that the motor is on and 3 inches from the front to the back. This setup provides enough slack to connect the motor easily. It's important to place the cable as close to the end caps as possible. our end caps extend slightly into the frame, helping to cover the connection. Some dealers take an additional step by making a small notch at the back of the end cap or routing the cable around the end cap to hide the connections. This technique uses the three-dimensional nature of our end caps to conceal the cable more effectively, ensuring a neat appearance even in an open roll configuration. When installing an inside mount shade with an enclosed fascia, it's crucial to consider both the practical and aesthetic aspects of the cable exit. For type 3 fascias, which use a 3x3-inch adjustable bracket, and type 4 fascias with their 4x4-inch adjustable bracket, the cable should exit from the top of the window frame. For the type 3 bracket, position the cable 4 to 8 inches from the wall that the motor is on, the motor side, and 3 inches from the front to the back. For the type 4 bracket, the cable should also be positioned 4 to 8 inches from the wall on the motor side, but 4 inches from the front to the back. The fascia will hide the cables inside the housing, ensuring a clean look. However, for a neater exterior appearance, especially if the connections are visible from outside, it's better to position the cable closer to the brackets. This way, the connection will be less noticeable. In regular roll configurations, the fascia's L-shaped covers the front and the bottom of the shade, hiding the connections inside. If the exterior aesthetics aren't a major concern, positioning cable up to 8 inches from the motor side bracket provides more working space and simplifies the installation process. In summary, closer placement to the bracket enhances outdoor aesthetics, but it's important to evaluate each installation individually to balance aesthetics and practicality. So in this video on the right, you'll see a hybrid method for running cables when there's a trim around the window. This method is very useful when you're unsure whether you'll be mounting on the trim or above it. The key is to align the cable exit with the corner of the window just above the trim. This approach makes it easy for the trades to place the cable before installing the drywall and trim. When you run the cable above the trim, it typically ends up about 3 inches from the motor, giving you enough space to connect the motor cable. This method allows for clean installation, whether you're mounting on the trim or above it. When the trim is square, the end caps align nicely with the edge of the trim, whether you mount it on the trim or above it. For installations directly on the trim, the cable can come out from the trim itself. However, if you prefer the fabric to extend beyond the trim, or if you know for a fact that you'll be mounting above the trim, it's better to position the cable slightly higher, around 3 inches above the trim.
Now that we've covered cable exit strategies, let's move on to discussing precise measurement techniques to ensure perfect fit and installation of your shades. When it comes to measuring for inside and outside mounts, we have two essential tools, the measurement tape and the laser tape. On the left, you can see the measuring tape. This traditional tool is suitable for both inside and outside mounts. It's particularly handy for trim-to-trim measurements in outside mounts. While its accuracy is generally within 1/16 of an inch, it provides reliable measurements, making it a long-term favorite for many installers. The tape measure is also beneficial for final measurements once the construction is complete. On the right, you have the laser measure. This tool is ideal for inside mount and provides a higher level of accuracy at 1/32 of an inch. Our shades are crafted with a precision of 1/16 of an inch. So using a laser measure ensures you get even more precise measurements. The laser is quick and efficient for large windows or multiple measurements, and it's particularly useful for hard to reach or tall windows. It's also the fastest tool for taking preliminary measurements when quoting. Often, during construction, preliminary measurements are taken to provide a quote to the client. In this scenario, one person can hold a piece of cardboard at the desired point while the other takes a quick measurement using the laser. Ultimately, the choice between a measurement tape and a laser depends on the specific scenario and personal preference. Some installers may feel more comfortable with one tool over the other, so it's important to choose the one that works best for you. For inside mount measurement, whether for open roll or enclosed shades, it's essential to take tree width measurement at the top, middle, and bottom, as well as tree height measurement on the left, center, and right. The most critical width measurement is the top because this is where the bracket will fit. Window can be slightly off, with difference of up to half an inch between the top and bottom. By using the top measurement for bracket to bracket width, you ensure a proper fit for the shade despite any minor inconsistencies in the window frame. For height measurements, use the longest measurement among the left, center, and right measurements. This ensures the shade covers the full length, the full height of the window, accounting for any variations in the window frame. When measuring for outside mounts, the process involves taking three measurements for width, it's the top, the middle, and the bottom, and three for the height, left, center, and right, similar to inside mounts. However, it's crucial to remember that the measurements you provide and you enter on the portal are always bracket to bracket. This ensures that our shades fit perfectly, accounting for the light gap on each side of the fabric. Our shades have specific light gaps, so the width measurement at the top is the most important for aligning the bracket with the window trim. For height, measure from the top of the fascia to the lower limit where the shade will stop. Our fascias comes in different sizes. The type 3, it's a 3-inch fascia. Type 4, it's a 4-inch fascia. And type 5.5, it's a 5.5-inch fascia. So include the fascia height in your total measurement. When there's no trim, use the inside window measurement as a reference and add at least 2 inches on each side to cover light gap and ensure proper overlap. Depending on your preference, you might add 3 or even 4 inches to each side for extra coverage. When mounting shades above the trim, it's crucial to consider the trim's thickness. Always note the trim's thickness, which can range from a quarter inch to half an inch. Sometimes, dealers opt to mount above the trim using reverse roll to clear the trim, or they use a larger bracket for regular roll to achieve the same effect. However, a highly recommended method to ensure complete clearance is shimming the equivalent of the trim's thickness. This shim can be matched to the trim or wall or bracket color, providing a seamless look. By using a shim, you can confidently install the shades in regular roll ensuring it clears the trim and cover the window properly. All you have to do is look out for endos. In the video playing now, you can see an example of square wood shim used just above the window, demonstrating this made up with an open roll shade. The same type of shim can be used for enclosed shades as well. For measuring coupled shades, it's often a two-person job due to the overall width. As seen in the video, we begin by taking the overall measurement from bracket to bracket, left to right, regardless of the number of sections. This total measurement helps in validating each section's individual dimensions. In this example, we have a coupled shade with one motor covering 3 sections of windows. For quick and easy installation, we place lasers in the center of each mullion. On the right side, you can see we have a green laser, and on the left side, a red laser. This setup allows us to measure from bracket to laser, laser to laser, and laser to bracket. The video shows the measurement from bracket to bracket first. Next, it demonstrates measuring the right section from the laser to the right bracket, followed by measuring the center section from laser to laser. While we didn't measure the left section in this example to the deductive reasoning, it's always best to measure each section to ensure accuracy. When measuring for bay window, it's crucial to understand that the brackets will intersect at the angles, as illustrated in the bottom left. The brackets should be positioned to collide at the intersection point, resulting in a light gap between the fabric edges. A beginner-friendly technique is to order the brackets first, based on the height and motor choice, and install them. Once installed, measure bracket to bracket and get correct shade width. While it's possible to calculate these measurements mathematically, it requires precision and experience to avoid errors. Therefore, ordering brackets first is a recommended approach for bay window.
All right. Next, let's explore the different installation procedures. In the next video, we demonstrate the process of installing an enclosed inside mount regular roll shade. We begin by securing the brackets to the window frame. For this example, the window frame has a depth of over 4 1/8 inches, accommodating our Type 4 bracket, which measures 4 inches by 4 inches, plus the 1/8 of an inch fascia thickness. Since there is no protrusion from the frame, no end caps are required. It's a direct bracket to bracket installation. Once the brackets are in place, we ensure the shade is leveled using the Allen key provided with each set of brackets. By making minor adjustments, we can align the shade properly to prevent it from telescoping or moving side to side during operation. After confirming the shade is level, the final step is to attach the fascia. It's essential to measure the window frame depth to determine if the brackets will fit without protrusion, ensuring a clean, flush installation. When installing an inside mount reverse roll shade, the process slightly differs. Unlike a regular roll installation, you will need to pre-attach the fascia to the brackets before securing them to the window frame. This is because in the reverse roll, the L-shaped fascia is inverted, with the lip now on top of the brackets. In the case of larger windows, you may need an extra pair of hands. Install the brackets into the window frame with the fascia already in place. Once done, you can install the shade from below and make the necessary leveling adjustments with the Allen key. For inside mount installations where the window frame depth is limited, you may need to use end caps to cover any bracket overhang. In our example photo, the shade protrudes about 1/4 of an inch from the frame, so end caps are necessary to conceal the metal brackets and provide a finished look. When ordering inside mount shade with end caps, it's essential to install them with the brackets as planned because the fascia is cut to accommodate the end caps.
Now let's move on to cover the configuration for butt and pass installations. When dealing with an L shade configuration, especially for a corner window, there are a few key considerations. In the image, we see two options for butt and pass configurations for the same window. Essentially, when configuring a butt and pass setup for a corner window, you need to decide which shade will be the pass shade that maintains its full length, and which will be the butt shade. The butt shade's bracket will touch the fascia and therefore lose some length. First, evaluate the environment and measurements. Check if the mullions are the same size on both sides of the window, or if there are differences in pockets positioning if you are putting those shades into pockets. These factors can influence whether a shade should be the butt or the pass. Another important aspect is considering the light gap between the butt and pass shades. For example, if both shades are in regular roll, there will be a larger light gap. It's crucial to decide which side is less noticeable based on visibility from outside. In the picture, the dotted line in green represent regular roll, and the dotted lines in purple represent reverse roll. One method to minimize the light gap is by using a reverse roll for the pass shade. While this reduces the light gap, it changes the underview appearance, making the pass shade look open from below, unlike the regular roll that looks closed. Each project will have unique requirements and different optimal butt and pass configurations based on specific factors like visibility, trim alignment, and aesthetic preferences. It's important to evaluate these factors to achieve the best possible configuration for each specific project. Now we see a U-shaped butt and pass configuration, demonstrating a complex yet effective design. On each side, there are 3 coupled shades, while at the bottom of the U features 2 shades with separate motors. The key concept here is accessibility for maintenance. If all shades were in regular roll, accessing the 2 far end shades would require removing the fascia, which would be blocked by the 6 surrounding shades, necessitating their removal first. To avoid this, the design uses regular roll shades on the sides and reverse roll shade at the bottom. This approach reduces the light gap and makes the bottom shades closer to the side shades. Additionally, it allows for easy maintenance from below without disassembling the surrounding shades. This setup optimizes both aesthetics and long-term maintenance efficiency, presenting an ideal solution for complex installations.
All right, so now it's time to delve into panel wiring. In this section, we'll examine 2 stop-motion videos showcasing the assembly of panels. So first up, in this stop motion video, you'll see the assembly of an S-line 20 shade panel. We'll start with the main power supply units. Make sure a certified professional connects the line voltage into the bottom of the transformer. The upper ports on the transformer will then be prepared to connect to the low voltage terminal strips. The two power supplies are mounted at the bottom of the panel on the left and the right. Next, we insert the extreme right-hand side stopper, followed by the first power connecting block, which requires an end door for sealing. We then proceed to insert each subsequent power terminal strip. After the first 10, we add a second separator and continue with the next terminal strips. Once fully inserted, we connect the power from each transformer to the lower part of its terminal strips. The video shows that the doors are open for inserting the jumpers. The upper jumpers are in blue and the lower jumpers are in red. Once all the jumper strips are installed, close all the fuse doors. The upper rows on the terminal strips are designated for the incoming shade wires, while the lower rows are for the power from the transformer. Additionally, you'll see the ground terminal in green being attached at the far right-hand side of the panel. Now it's time to demonstrate the assembly of a 20 shade Q-line panel with the additional communication wiring. Similar to the previous slide, we begin by setting up the power supply units and the terminal strips. A certified professional will connect the line voltage to the bottom of the transformers. You can now prepare the upper ports to connect the low voltage to the low voltage terminal strips. The power supplies are again mounted at the bottom on the left and the right of the panel. Now, since it's a Q-line solution that is fully wired, we will also install the Q-line gateway and the data terminal strips in the upper portion of the panel. The first component to be installed is the Q-line gateway. Make sure to connect the low and high data communication ports, number 21 and 22, and the power wires for the gateway. Once the gateway is securely installed and the power wires are in place, we proceed with the installation of the communication strips. Start by inserting the left-hand side stopper, followed by the data connecting blocks, and adding a sealing end door to the open-ended block. After setting up the first 10 data terminal strips and adding the second stopper, we continue with the next 10 strips. Once the communication setup is complete, we connect the data communication lines from the gateway to the lower section of the first 10 data blocks, and then add a jumper from the 10th strip to the 11th. The incoming wires from the shades are then connected to the upper part of the terminal blocks. It's important to insert the blue and red jumpers to ensure data flows across all terminal blocks. Finally, we connect the Ethernet cable to the gateway, thus enabling communication between the shades and the gateway over the terminal strips, and allowing the gateway to interface with your third-party control system via Ethernet. I'll just let this video finish because there's quite a lot going on, and just so you get a second run through on it. There's the communication getting connected to the communication blocks, the jumpers getting installed, the terminal strips getting installed, and now we're connecting the shades from outside, and she's good to go. To help you stay organized when pre-wiring your jobs, we have this handy chart. Now, don't worry about writing down all the notes here. because you can easily refer back to this in the documentation section of the Clara portal. If you have any questions, just give us a shout and we'll point you towards it. The idea here is to show you what wire is required for each solution. Starting at the top, you can see the Q line, 24-volt DC with wired control, which will require 2 conductors for power and 2 conductors for data. As we move down the chart, we see that the S-line 12-volt and 24-volt solution only require a 2-conductor wire of the appropriate gauge, as it uses a wireless mesh communication. The PoE solution requires a Cat5e or better for both power and communication. Now just looking at the gauges of the wires. So to reach a motor that is less than 100 feet away, an 18-gauge wire is sufficient. For distances up to 150 feet, a 16-gauge wire is recommended. And for runs of up to 240 feet, a 14-gauge wire is ideal. This is based on 24-volt motors. Finally, you can see that the PoE solution supports an impressive 328 feet per run. When designing shades, it's crucial to allocate a dedicated 15 to 20 amp circuit for every 20 to 25 shades. This guideline applies to all of our indoor shades, including S-line Zigbee, Q-line, and PoE shades. For PoE shades, remember that 100 watts of PoE budget equals approximately 1.05 amps of consumption. This is essential for determining the right network switch for your needs. So it's good to stay up to date on network switches, as their specifications frequently change. When choosing switches, consider the maximum power budget and the number of PoE Plus and PoE Plus Plus ports. For your first project, conservatively estimate 30 watts per PoE Plus shade. We have an upcoming PoE Plus Plus motor arriving soon, which will require different power considerations. A great option is an Arachnus switch, such as the 300, 600, and 900 series provided by Snap. They are compatible with our PoE shades. And if you're using the 900 series, remember, it may require an additional power supply for the unit to reach its full potential.
Now let's dive into the features and functionality of the Clara Shades dealer portal. The dealer portal is designed to function across all devices, including cell phones, tablets, and laptops. Accesses directly at app.clarashades.com. Within the portal, you can manage and view all projects associated with your account, ensuring you have everything you need at your fingertips. Let's now take a look at how quickly you can build a shade using our dealer portal. In quick quote, single motorized, S-line battery, modern 1%, 40 by 60, open roll, and it's done. Setting up the first shades just take 10 seconds. For each subsequent shade, it takes even less time, thanks for the simple rinse and repeat process. This highlights the incredible speed, efficiency, and user-friendliness of our dealer portal. The Shade Simulator is a versatile visual tool accessible on our website at www.clarashades.com. It allows you to present various options to your customers, such as fabric selections, inside or outside mount choices, open roll or enclosed configurations, and perspectives from both inside and outside the room. Moreover, you can seamlessly embed the simulator into your own website using a simple HTML code available on the dealer portal. This feature ensures that your customers stay on your website rather than being redirected to ours.
With our commitment to excellence and innovation, you can truly see the difference in every aspect of our product offering and our streamlined approach to the dealer channel. We ensure that every project begins smoothly with our tailored pre-sales engineering consultations. After placing an order, our rapid lead times of 2 to 3 weeks for indoor shades and 4 to 6 weeks for outdoor shades enable you to meet your deadlines with ease. On site, you can easily access our 3-tiered support team via phone, email, or by scheduling a Genius Squad session, ensuring you and your team receive timely and effective assistance whenever needed. You can access affordable sample books and demo stands either through the portal or at any Snap store. Additionally, you have access to marketing collateral and an embedded shade simulator, which can be integrated directly into your own website. We offer a 30% discount on demo orders, which includes 5 indoor and 1 outdoor shade. As well, we have a 10% discount on your first order to get started on the right foot. Additionally, you earn 3 points for every dollar spent, aligning with the reward system for Snap One's first-party products. Please remember to document any discounts in the project notes to ensure they are applied correctly. This is crucial for maintaining the integrity and accuracy of the ordering process. If you have any questions after today's session, please don't hesitate to call us or send an email to dealer@clarashades.com. Remember, you can also book a Genius Squad session through the portal at any time. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. Your engagement and participation are greatly appreciated. We are now ready to open the floor for any questions you may have. So please, feel free to ask anything or share your thoughts.
Thank you, Jason. So let's start with the Q&A. So I have Dawood here. When is it best to use the Q-line panel? In fact, when you use a Q-line, so we showed you 2 cases, S-line panel and Q-line panel. So I'll go a little bit more generic than your question. So S-line panel, the smallest, there's a 20 shade panel and there's a 10 shade panel. And the smallest power supply for multiple shades that we do have individual power supplies, but we also have a 5 shade power supply and a 10 shade power supply. In the example you saw earlier, it was a panel for 20 shades. So there was a 10 shade power supply on the left side and a 10 shade power supply on the right side. If I'm talking about the S line, you start considering doing a shade panel above 5 shades. And I would say same thing for the Q line. But the Q line, you have a gateway that is DIN railed. So just because you can do it in a smaller rack, or maybe in a configuration sometimes going to work in a condo. You do 5 shades in Q line, and you want to do it in the P3000, the telecom panel. This is one way. Maybe to have the gateway there with some individual power supplies, but it's some rare enclosure. In fact, the Q line, it's pretty much all the time you go with Q line, you have a shade panel. While with the S line, personally, yes, above 5 shades, but when you're talking about you're taking money in consideration too, I would start thinking about doing a panel for the S line above 8 shades. 8 shades enough. I'm starting considering it. Above 12 shades, you're pretty much using a panel. And again, designing with shade panels always brings you in mind, you know, those circuit, there's dedicated circuit. We talked a little bit earlier in the presentation, a 15 20 amp circuit dedicated for shade panels. You think about it, you know, by default when you have a shade panel. I will go to the second question, Travis. I have a customer that has window with Cat6 wiring, but it's not shielded wire. How critical is shielded wire? So with our shades, it's not critical. In fact, I can even tell you here in my office, I have a regular Cat6. The shielded cable in reality would be essential with other kinds of shade, let's say like a zebra shade, but it's not in our offering. But a zebra shade, because it's two fabric that are next to each other, it creates so much static that this static would need to be redirected to your switch, and your switch would need to be grounded so the motor would not jump. But we never saw a problem using a regular Cat5e or Cat6 with our shades with the type of fabric we have that creates a minimal amount of static. Greg Martin, can these be controlled through a Claire 1 panel? So good question. Jason, if you want to take this one.
Sure. So, I mean, I'm really excited to say that yes, the Tahoma or the S-Line Zigbee solution is now fully integratable with the Claire 1 panel. And I mean, we did a small integration over here to try it out. It was very simple and straightforward. So well done. I know that it's, you know, just preliminary release, so they're still probably working on some minor issues, but it was amazing. I mean, with the Claire panel, super simple to organize the shades. We even set up some scheduling so that, you know, the shades can open and close without even having to be, you know, touched. So yeah, the answer is, you know, Claire 1 is now compatible with the Zigbee S-Line shades.
And I can add that the S-Line PoE shade is in the making. It will be released at one point. I don't have a specific ETA, but like Jason said, S-Line Zigbee is released. Now, Travis, do you have a solution for battery-powered shade on a back door? Jason?
Absolutely. Again, going back to the Zigbee solution, we did cover this on the indoor, but I think we have enough time to go over it now. Basically, in the Zigbee solution, there is a lithium-ion battery solution that under normal use case scenarios only needs to be recharged, you know, once a year annually. As well as the 12-volt and 24-volt motor, but specifically answering is there a way to do a shade installation when there's no wiring in place? Yes, look at the S-Line Zigbee solution.
When using two 20 shade panel, do you only need the LAN connection in each panel for communication? So very good question. This is also covered in the other presentation that we did and is available on YouTube. But one gateway, one Q-line gateway can do up to 50 shades. So in reality, you would place in this configuration, you would have one gateway in the first panel, then the communication would be jumped to, you know, those gray connectors that you saw in the video earlier today. So you would have like a connection between the first panel and the second panel on the communication level. Jason, I don't know if I'm missing something.
Yeah, I mean, you're right on. Absolutely, you'll just jump the data between the two panels. And I mean, best practice is all you really need is a two conductor to pass that data between the two panels. But best practice is I would pass a network cable as well, just in case it, you know, it just makes things safer in case you had to add a second gateway for any reason, just for flexibility. But at the end of the day, two conductor between the two panels will pass the data.
Especially, if I can complete what you're saying, especially if those two panels are in different location in the house. So if they are in the same, room, in the same mechanical room, it's even easier to pass it afterwards. But if they are in two different rooms or two different floors in a project, then it's better to pass between two panels, one cat cable and a 16.2, like Jason said. Richard, now, do you have a solution for covering skylight? The answer is at the moment, no. Omar? When working on a project using your website, I have found myself facing several height and width fabric limitation. The software prompt to do custom shade. Is it possible to reduce the amount of limitation when trying to build a project? Omar, good question. Right now there's two ways. There's custom shades. There's three ways you can do it now. It's on the left side, custom shades, like you said. You can click inside the project, need help there, and write everything at the same time, or send an email at dealer@clarashades.com. But the answer is yes. The next big revision of the portal, because the portal is always getting some revision, but we're working on a huge update to facilitate those things. You're not the first one who's telling us that for those limitation. We're already working on it, so it's in the making. Again, I don't have any TA, but it's already in the making. Dawood again. Let me rephrase the question. Is there an advantage using the Q line? It seems that the POE would be the easiest and most cost-effective option. Why would the Q line be used instead? Very good question. So the Q line, in reality, right now, it's the stronger motors we have. We said it briefly in today's presentation. There's an upcoming POE++ motor that is coming in the future. So right now, the sizes or the couple shades I can do with my S-line POE, it's a little bit more limited than what I can achieve with Q-line, which I can do extremely large couple shades. So right now, the strongest motor lineup for massive project with massive windows would still be the Q-line. But in the future, the gap between using one lineup or the POE lineup will be smaller when the POE++ motor is released. And then it will become more of a user preference, a dealer preference. Do you prefer to do conventional Q-line shades, or do you want to go more towards the POE shades? At the same times, sometimes dealers are bidding on jobs where cable is already passed. So Q-line is a 4-conductor solution. POE is a Cat 5e or Cat 6 solution. So we still gonna cover different scenarios with both lineups. Richard, now, do you have a solution for irregular shaped window, round triangle? No, so right now we're really doing squared shades. And you can see more of the offering we have in the previous presentation. But right now, our main offering is squared roller shades. We do have some variants in custom. We covered it last time, but like we can do in custom bottom ups, Roman shades, tracks, outdoor shades. It's not custom, it's built in on the portal. We do all the lineups Jason covered a little bit earlier in a different question. But no, so the question is for triangle windows. Right now, if you do it with Clara Shades, you're gonna cover it with the square shades above it. But it's open in the future that maybe one day will be in our offering, a little bit like Skylight was asked earlier. It's not a closed door that in the future we'll do it, but right now this is our offering. Travis, now, sorry to clarify my question on battery powered. It's more of a concern of attaching the screen at the bottom of the door, keeping the shade attached when opening and closing the door when closed. This sounds a little bit more like our I don't know if it's possible. I would need to check a little bit more precisely if we can attach it. Already we have some side channels, but if it's not like a full side channel solution you're looking for, our bottom up, the system, there is strings between the shades. I don't know if it can be reverted. If you can call us just for that questions, we'll see if we can do something because it's close to our bottom up since there is a fascia part at the top and a fascia part at the bottom, and there is strings in between. But if you need the shade in this configuration to go down, down and up, I would need to ask engineering team. So give us a call, send us a small email, dealer@clarashades.com. We'll look for this quiz custom requests. It's a possibility. James, now, do you have a driver for POE shades for URC total control, and where would it be obtained? James, it's available. So on our portal, there's some. I'm still missing the full guide for URC POE, but total control driver. It's available. I think it's directly in the URC database, but there is a link. I have the link. I can send it to you. Send us a small email, dealer@clarashades.com, or send it to dealer@clarashades.com and ask Alex, and I'll send you the link. Just say, hey, Alex, you told me during the webinar you would send me the link. I'll send you the link, but I think it's already in the URC database, and there is the document from URC that is there to explain the driver. But we will also have another version of it on our portal very soon. The RTI 1.2 is coming soon on our portal. The documentation is also available. And if I can say, I can add, so Control 4 is released, Crestron is released, Elan is released, URC is released, and RTI is released too for the POE drivers. Richard, now, which shade motor is the quietest? I would say right now it's still our Q line is very, very quiet. I would say our Q line is pretty up there, but difference is always by 4 or 5 decibels in between lineups. So I would say number one silent would still be our Q line, almost close to it. If it's not exactly the very close to it, it's gonna be the S line Zigbee battery. And then maybe by 3 decibel more, there is the S-line 12 volt and 24 volt. But it's all around the same range of decibel, all of them. It's pretty close. It's all in the ultra and very quiet range of decibel, all motors. So we don't have like noisy motors. Richard, now, do you have wireless communication Q-line product using 2 conductors instead of 4 conductors? The answer is yes. You would need to require to book a Genius to do it because you don't have access directly to the lineup on the portal. It's a solution that is used more into custom because the reason is it's a unidirectional communication system. There's always also a way of doing it in bi-directional, but it's on the RF frequency, so it's a little bit slower, the communication, than Zigbee 3.0, which is lighting fast. So that's why in two conductor, we are prioritizing Zigbee communication because it's bi-directional, ultra fast communication. Q-line 2 conductor, we can do ultra fast unidirectional communication and a little bit slower pace bi-directional communication over it. But you need to do a book a Genius, and we'll review it. But if you want to start designing it, you can design it in wired control, and we'll just flip the motors to the unidirectional. Darren, spaghetti or pizza? Jason, this is a question for you.
I want both.
Okay. And finally, Gary, can you communicate with the alarm.com platform as well? Jason, if you want to talk about the S-Line Zigbee.
Yeah, so I mean, you answered it right there. The S-Line Zigbee is a powerhouse with the 3 different motor types, integrating with just about every kind of system, even voice assistants known to man. So yes, if you have alarm.com, the Zigbee solution is the one you would want to look at.
So Valerie, I think it's up to you for the conclusion.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. We really appreciate all of our partners for being here today and being engaged. And asking great questions. And thank you to Clara Shades team, Jason and Alex, for sharing all of this information with us on best practices. It was very informative. As a reminder, today's webinar will be posted on YouTube, and all of the previous sessions also are on YouTube to reference. So make sure if you have any questions, you can refer to that, or the Clara Shades team is very available, email, call, on the portal. And then also as a reminder for future webinars and events, you can visit snaponeevents.com and you can join us there as well. But big thank you, Jason, Alex. I enjoyed our time together, and these sessions and webinars, they were great. And thank you to all of our partners for being here. And we'll sign off.
Thanks so much,
everyone.
Valerie.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye now.
everyone.